What up, Hank? Ben, what's good? Where we at tonight, Ben? Blazer Blue, welcome to the room. We're gonna be talking about leasing versus purchase. Basically, renting a truck versus buying a truck. So, I don't know. I kind of ran across this topic earlier this week, and I was like, yeah, that'd be a good one for the truck talk. You know, Big Vicious 909, welcome to the room. Yeah, it'll be a good one because a lot of guys when I mention leasing a truck, they be like, oh no, it's too expensive. It's too expensive. This that you gotta pay all this money and. But I'm gonna really break it down for you today because it's actually a lot of savings and it's in my opinion it's the better way to go. If you're gonna be doing freight or box trucks, um, car hauling I would say purchase the truck. But if you're gonna be doing, I can't even say that either because if you're gonna get a brand new one, they got they'll lease you a brand new one. They $6,500 a month, but you ain't gonna have nothing to worry about. So, what's that? Siobhan, Shabazz, welcome to the room. What up? What up? Big Vicious 909. Yeah, so we gonna first and foremost, let me I don't think they in the room yet, but these right here are two of the mentee contracts and intake forms. And what's their Instagram? It's at that dude Mo92 and Ball and Chill 2 with the number 2. So y'all go follow them, watch this journey, watch this transformation rather. These two mentees, they gonna bet on themselves, with the tutelage about that truck life. They can't lose, man. So they got 3 more spots open. I'll take advantage of it, I really would, because this is what I do. I'm just gonna walk these guys through the same stuff that I do every day, make sure they're not doing anything wrong, save them the headache, making those mistakes, and we're gonna walk them right into 6 figures. Watch, just watch. I ain't gonna really say too much more about it, just watch. But back on topic, right? So, all right, we're gonna start with purchasing a truck, right? Okay, all right, I will. I'm gonna tag them. I gotta figure all that stuff out. Like I don't even know how to repost, and I definitely don't know how to tag. So I'll ask somebody, and I'm an old cat, man. I'm new to this, but we'll get it done. So basically, we're gonna talk about purchasing first. We all familiar with One Love. Welcome to the room. We all familiar with purchasing a truck, right? Now, if you're dealing with commercial trucks, they're gonna want you to have, at least 2 years in business, some type of business credit. If not, they're gonna use your primary. That's why I said, guys, getting your credit tightened up before you get into this business is a must. You're gonna, unless you got a lot of cash on hands. So, with that being said, they're gonna look at 2 years of your business credit. If you don't have any established, then they're gonna use your personal credit as a primary. This is when purchasing a truck, okay? So they're gonna go through, do you have a CDL? How long you had a CDL? How long you had your license. It depends on what you're buying also. Jalil, welcome to the room. So it all depends on what you're buying. If they're gonna look for a CDL, how long you had it. But we're gonna speak on like the big trucks, the semi trucks. They want to know how long you had your CDL. You know, they're gonna want references. You know, from prior people that you work with. You know, it's bigger than going to the car lot and just, you know, running your credit and showing your job. So, you know, well, with that being said, okay, we get past that process, right? And you got the truck. So now you have all the maintenance to that truck, right? That's a no-brainer. We know we gotta maintenance it. We gotta get tires. We gotta get brakes. We gotta get, you know, change the oil, get PMs. If it breaks down, we gotta repair that. That's one of your biggest overheads with owning and purchasing your own vehicle or truck, right? So stay low. Welcome to the room. So that's the top bill that you're gonna have by owning the truck. Trust me. Right? And I'm gonna give you a quick scenario of how expensive a breakdown could be. Let's say, all right, you get your truck, you go through the whole finance process, you got your truck, you know, you got it registered, ifed it up, you got all your paperwork. We're gonna get into that too. So you all ready to roll. You out there rolling, and you making $5,000-$6,000 a week, and then that truck breakdown, right? And this is just to give you an example of how the money adds up. So when that truck breaks down, and it's only $3,000 repair, right? You know, you making 5-6 every week. You know, third week your truck breaks down to $3,000 repair. So you rocked out for 3 weeks straight. End of that third week, your truck breaks down. Goes into the shop. Parts are on back order. It's a lot of that happening right now. So your truck is in the shop for 2 weeks. So it's not just the $3,000 repair. It's also those 2 weeks of being without a truck. Y'all got to remember these points. I'm saying this for a reason. So with that being said, that's equivalent to $15,000. So you're going to have to work another 2 weeks after your truck is fixed just to make your money back. You understand? So remember that. All right, so we're going to back up a little bit. So now, after you got through the financing and everything, you got to go get your tags. You got to go get IRP, or you got to go get commercial plates. Those plates can run you anywhere from $1,200 to $1,500 just for your registration and your tag. Then you got to get your IFTA, right? That's your fuel tax permit, right? International Fuel Tax Association, right? Okay. Say Cool's dad, welcome to the room. You got to get your IFTA. That's not that expensive. That's only a couple dollars. But that registration is gonna be about $1,500. Remember all these points now. So you got through the financing part. You had to put some money down. You got your registration. You got to pay $1,500 for registration. You got to pay for IFTA. You got to pay for UCR, right? Unified Truckers. You got to pay for that. You got to pay your $22.90, your heavy highway tax, right? That's $550 every July, right? You got to pay that when you got a semi that's over 80,000 pounds. Okay? Remember all of this stuff, because remember the topic of this live is leasing versus purchasing. So we're on purchasing right now, right? So these are all the things, all the bills, and all the stuff you're gonna have to pay when purchasing and getting into this business. So, all right, now you got your insurance, right? You're gonna have to on either side. You're gonna have to have insurance. So we ain't gonna get too much in that, but you just gotta have secure your insurance. Whether you're purchasing or leasing, you gotta have insurance. So now if you're renting, then that's a little different. But we're doing lease versus purchase. So remember the scenario I just gave you with your breakdowns. Okay, if you're going to run New York, or you're going to run Kentucky or Oregon or New Mexico, these are states that require certain permits. New York HUT, then you got your KYU number, you got your New Mexico permit number, and Oregon has the same thing. So these are extra permits that you have to pay for, right? Okay, remember that too. So if you break down, let's say that third week in that scenario, you broke down and you wasn't close to home, or you wasn't able to, the truck actually went straight out, had to get towed. So now you have to pay, when you purchase a truck, you got to pay for that tow bill, right? Now if you over the road, you know, you get towed to the closest shop, dealership or whatever, then you got to stay in a hotel. That's another, you know, expense, right? So let's keep all of this in mind now. We talking about purchasing, when this is all the liabilities that you have when you purchase a truck, okay? And we do it every day. I mean, it is what it is. So now with that being said, I wish I had a chalkboard, because I, you know, it's like, probably gonna have to go back and forth on the video once it's over. But okay, now let's do lease. But I'm gonna pan back and forth to let you know, to kind of keep you on point. So with leasing, we're gonna go right from the beginning. Just like when you had to purchase, you had to go get all your stuff, you had to get financing. You had to put a down payment, right? You got to put, most of the time they require 10% down for a purchase on a commercial vehicle. Now, leasing on this hand, they require certain things. Now, from what I know with Penske, you got to be a year, at least one business year. You got to have 1 year business credit, and you have to have a commercial location in order to get a Penske contract or a lease. And there was one more thing. 1 year in business. Oh, you have to have one tractor or one unit in your fleet, meaning you got to have one truck already. So you kind of got to go through both to get to the lease, but once you get to the lease, it's like smooth sailing, in my opinion. So, okay, when you have all of those 4 things checked off, then now you only need $5,000 deposit versus 10%. Now you're picking 2018, 2019, 2020, 2021 tractors, right? These are new tractors, right? Next, when you purchase, you got your truck and everything, you got it financed. Next thing you had to do is go get a registration. When you lease, this truck is already registered. It's already got a tag. 9 times out of 10, it's gonna have the Indiana plate on there, right? So that's $1,500 you got to spend right there. Next, you got to go get the UCR and all these different permits. If the 2290, all of this stuff, which can be time consuming and cost money, right? But when you lease, the truck comes with everything. It comes with your New York HUT sticker, KYU number, everything. You got all your permits, you got everything. The only thing you got to do is just give them your insurance and slap your logo on one side of that truck, and you rolling, right? So y'all with me so far? You see how much money you save? You see the big difference just in initially getting into the truck. All the stuff, you ain't got to go to IRP, you ain't got to have somebody get your registration or spend a couple hours down there. I don't know if they're doing that now during COVID, but you get my point. It's a lot easier once you get to that level. Now, if you got to do what you got to do, so be it. But if you have those credentials, those 4 things that I just named, you might want to listen to this video and can really consider leasing. Now, a lot of people say leasing is expensive. Right off the top of my head, I know, because I know people, I've leased trucks from Penske. You're looking at about $700 a week, right? Maybe $800 a week. So, plus mileage, you figure your average mileage in a week is 2,500 to 3,000 miles the truck's going to travel, right? Those are like the national averages. So with that adding up, when I calculated everything, it was like $1,100 between the actual lease per week and the mileage added up. So you're looking at $4,400 a month for that lease. I want y'all to think about that for me. So a lot of people are gonna say, man, that's a lot, because if I purchase a truck, my payment might only be $2,500, right? Because you still gotta pay that $4,400, and you gotta pay your insurance, right? With a lease. So a lot of people are like, man, I'd rather just buy my own. I'll own it one day, et cetera, et cetera. I mean, to each his own. You purchase that truck, you paying for it, you got all the liabilities that come along with it. So in my opinion, and when I look at it, see, what I do is I watch other people. I watch other successful people. Okay? FedEx. They ain't no dummies. 90% of their trucks are Ryder trucks or Penske. So when you see that, you got to think about it and be like, okay, if they're doing it, it got to make sense, because they're like a multi-million-dollar company. You know what I'm saying? So I look at that first, and then I'm like, okay, that's what made me dissect it and then go into details. And then me having the background that I have, I'm like, yo, wow, these joints, you know, when I call them up and I talk to them and I ask different questions, I'm like, okay, well, I only got to put $5,000 down to secure a truck. It's a newer truck. I get my plates with it. I get all my permits. I get my 2290, which is heavy highway tax, y'all. I get all of that, you know, and I just got to pay that weekly. So I'm looking at it like, okay, if I got to kick out $1,100, $1,200 a week, but I'm making $6,000, and then now I don't have no headaches, right? So I ain't done yet. Because remember the breakdown where your truck or the purchase truck had to sit in the shop for 2 weeks? It cost $3,000, but you missed 2 weeks worth of work. So you don't have to worry about that with Penske. Because if they can't fix your Penske or Ryder, if they can't fix your truck in 72 hours, they give you another one. So it doesn't matter if you're in California or wherever, because they got terminals everywhere. You understand? So if you break down, they're going to come right out and try to get the problem solved. They're going to send a unit out. They can't get it solved. They're going to tow it. They're going to tow it. So that's another expense that's cut, because when you purchase, that's up to you. Now you got to pay to get it towed. But they're going to have it. They're going to send a truck out. They can't fix it. They're going to tow it to their nearest shop, try to get it fixed. If they can't fix it within 72 hours, they're going to give you another truck. That right there just saved you $15,000 in that scenario. Even if you had to wait the 72 hours. So you spent 3 days in a hotel versus 2 weeks in a hotel and losing 15 grand. So that $4,400 don't seem so bad, do it? Do you understand? You know what I mean? Like, so you can get in, you can run teams, you can run the miles up. Like if you put the miles on there, you're making the money, right? Because right now, you know, cats is averaging $2.50 a mile, $3 a mile. So, you know, you're gonna make the money. And by leasing, you have no headache. You have no worries. You know, when you purchasing, everything is on you. Now it takes a little bit to get to a point where you can lease, but you can also rent from Ryder or Penske or Enterprise, which is totally different, because they're not going to ask you for those 4 things. They're not going to ask you to be, because leasing is a long-term thing. Rental is from week to week. It might be a little more expensive, but the same perks are there. You can even rent, you know, dualies from Enterprise. I don't know if Penske and Ryder have them, but I know Enterprise does. I know one of my guys, he was renting a Ford from them for a while. He was in a rail yard, like with, he was paying a nice bit of money, but at the same time he had nothing to worry about, because his dually kept breaking down. So he just went and got a lease. So think about all of that. And then here's another perk to leasing, right? Now if you want to scale your business, right? Purchase, you know, purchasing versus lease. Purchasing, you got to go through that same scenario again. You might have a better rapport at this point with the finance company, but you still going to have to put that 10% down. You still going to have to get that registration. You still going to have to get those permits put on that truck. Versus Ryder or Penske, it's just a phone call. Hey Bob, I need another unit. When can you have me another unit for my fleet? I have it to you in 2 weeks. We got one coming in. We got a 2021 coming in, and $5,000 deposit. We add it to your insurance. You ready to roll? All you need is a driver, right? So it's a lot easier to scale. And if a situation comes where you don't have a driver, it's a lot easier to turn that truck back in without so much penalty or money loss versus you went and financed another truck and then you can't find a driver for it. Now it's sitting there and you're paying for that and it ain't making no money. With a Ryder or Penske, you can turn that thing back in. You ain't gonna have to hold it that long. You get that purchase, whatever 60 months that is financed for, 72 months. You dealing with that. It ain't no turning that back in. At least with Ryder, you do a year lease or 18 months, something like that. You can weather that storm a lot better. You know, in some cases, you can turn the truck in sooner. You know, I don't know all the exact details about it, but I just know it's a lot easier. I know somebody who has 10 of those trucks with Amazon right now. So, you know, I just wanted to give you guys a little, you know, another, I guess, avenue to purchasing. You know, just think about, it's so many different channels to this trucking industry that, I mean, you can make money from, you know, outside of trucking. We all know this. You know, you can it's so many different things. It's too many to name. It's just so many different things you can do. And I'm gonna be honest with you. That's kind of what I'm going towards after I get the Stinger, is to get a tractor. If I do decide to get a tractor, you know what I mean? I'm going to do that and do the whole Penske thing, because I'd rather lease than to try to own. I've done that for years, and I'm a realist. I couldn't scale my business the way I wanted to. It was too hard because of those breakdowns and those repairs. You know, these trucks now are garbage. They're garbage. You know, a lot of us you know, you get these trucks, we can't afford the brand new ones that's $150,000, $160,000. And by the way, with this pandemic thing going on right now, trucks are $30,000, $40,000 more than what they were last year. I was looking today and I'm like, wow, this is crazy. So I need to really meet you and have a lunch and just talk, because I'm stuck in a little. Oh yeah, you out here, so just hit me. I'm probably gonna be just to Devon, I'm probably gonna be down for a couple weeks because my insurance, I'm dealing with that, and I'm in the middle of, I just sold a lot of the equipment. I only got one trailer left, and I'm in the process. I got approved for the Stinger. He just trying to get the down payment a little lower, because I hate to give any money up. That's just how I am. So I'll be around. That's because of the chip shortage. Yeah. Well, yeah, I guess. I mean, I you know, the cars are suffering from the chip shortage. I guess the trucks too. But I mean, it's a little bit of both. It really is. I know what you're saying about the chips, but there's a raw material shortage is what's happening. You know, along with the unemployment, people don't want to work. You know, they getting more money at home. A lot of them factories, they working at half capacity. You know what I'm saying? So it's a mixture of why the prices are so high right now. You know, you got those people, like I said, the factories at half capacity. Then like the trailer, I ordered those two Sun Countries. I paid $38 for the first one. Ordered them at the same time, but because of the material, the metals, the steel that they make it with, and then the shortage in the spots where they come at, that trailer is now $44,000. Same exact trailer. So I'm talking to the dealer, he's explaining it to me, and then I thought he was capping, but after doing my own research, I see what he was saying. You're not wrong, you're absolutely right about the chips. They play a big part, I'll say about 50%. And then you got, you know, the unemployment and the raw materials. But yeah, Devon, I'll be around. But yeah, you know, box trucks. If you guys want to get box trucks, a good way to get into that is to start off renting, get with Enterprise, and and the good thing about these companies, you can negotiate your own rates. If you got good negotiating skills, you gotta have some credentials though. You can't just come in there butt naked and no experience, no nothing, and think you're gonna get the top rate. But they will work with you. Just this to Jalil. I am getting out of the dually game. Only reason I'm gonna give you the what I'm doing, because y'all seen me go from one dually to three, and my plan was to hire drivers. And when I did hire the first driver, within 4 days he smacked up two brand new cars. Shit happens, solid guy. You know what I mean? Even after we went our separate ways, 2-3 months later, the bill came in, he paid it. You know what I mean? Real stand-up guy, good dude. You know what I mean? It just, if that car would have been on the top of the trailer, it could have really got ugly. He could have got hurt. It's not a easy thing to do. But with that being said, I said I'm gonna take these 3 trucks and just combine them into one 9 car. Cause I used to do the 9 cars before I had to do it. So I did a little bit of everything. I bounce around. So I'm gonna go back to the 9 car, and I'm gonna drive it myself, and I'm just gonna run a bag up, and I'm gonna invest in real estate. But I'm still using the trucking and the car hauling to, get the money. It's y'all, like, for real, you got a chance to get in. Too fast, what's happening, bro? If you get a chance to get into this hot shot or trucking thing, it's good money in it. It's good money in it, and once you have a business savvy, you can use it for a lot of things. Like this car behind me, I'm gonna put it on Toro once the plates come in. Got another one on order, and it's a whole nother market, but I was able to do this from trucking. My 2 mentees, the guys that's gonna be under my wing, man, I give it by going into the new year, they're gonna be rolling. They're gonna be rolling, and they'll be able to have those. And that's one thing about being on my mentorship. It's not just trucking. It's business. It's connections. It's a lot. It's a lot more than just, okay, I'm gonna show you how to get a dually, get set up, and get a load. No, we're gonna fix your credit. We're gonna get that business credit right. We're gonna show you how to finesse this move right here. We're gonna show you how to finesse this move. Okay, we got a contract over here. We're gonna group up and we're gonna go get this money together. It's a team thing, so that's that was a long answer to your question, but that's what I'm doing. I'm like, I'll switch up in a minute, but I'm still car hauling. It's all the same. It's just a different truck. I'll be able to show y'all I'll show y'all some shit with this 9 car, for real. I'm gonna show y'all some shit with this 9 car. That's another thing. It's like, if you watch my journey since October last year, you got a little bit of local, you got a little bit of the dually with that. Then you see me how I had to scale it to the 3. See the ups and the downs. You see me lose, get the driver, lose something, sell something, and then move, just the whole journey in itself, man. You get to see it, but you're being educated while you're watching it. You don't even know it yet. Like, you're gonna be able to look back at this and be like, well, he did this and he did this way. You might not think about it right now until you come across that situation. And then you can be like, oh yeah, I remember the bull about that. Yeah, he did it like this. And that's what this is for, man. Truck Talk Sunday is why I share a lot of my stuff on my stories, and it's authentic. Like, something bad happened, I'll tell you. Like, I have a bad week, something happens, some people smack, cars get crashed up and I gotta pay for them. It's part of the game. Trucks break down, get flats, whatever. We document everything. I want you to see what it is, so you don't just jump into it thinking everything is gravy. Yep. Yeah. Too fast. I see you got that other truck, man. You might as well come on and get this last trailer. I'll work with you. On the price. We might be able to do a little rent to own or something like that, man. Cause I gotta get ready to move from that yard. Cause I ain't gonna be able to turn the stinger around in that joint. So I gotta figure out something. And I was considering it, renting it out. I got that 5 car that My buddy Ben had. Yeah. Yeah, man. We can work some. We gonna bust it up, man. You gonna hit me on the jack. You know what I'm saying? Probably tomorrow or probably two. Let's do Tuesday. I'm gonna go hang out tonight and probably be asleep tomorrow. Okay, all right. I'll hit you when I get off here. All right, yeah, but that's anybody got any questions about the leasing versus purchasing? It's just another way, and I just really kind of show you the perks of leasing. Don't get scared by the high price because all the benefits that you have. Yeah, Netaloo, I do have a YouTube channel. It's about that truck life also. Okay, you cashed out on the 2020? My dude, that's what I'm talking about, man. See y'all? See? That man was running. He got another Ford with a 3 car. He just cashed out on the 2020. Another one. That just goes to show you the money is there. You know, so man, he invited me to that Stunt Fest show where I had the big monster truck on it. That was too fast work right there. He know how to get out there and run his mouth, get them connections. It's out here, man. It's out here. See, the good thing about car hauling is you can really reach out and get to someone. Like, you can walk in a dealership and be like, hey, my name is such and such, I haul cars. You know, it's just like that. It's not like you're going to a big warehouse, big corporate building, and you know, you got to go through all that red tape. Do you feel the same applies to dualies as far as leasing and buying? I do know somebody that, yeah, it's still the same principles because it's still the same format. You still gonna get the permits. They gonna have the tags on them. You know, same thing. So you're not gonna have to worry about anything. If the engine fall out, you know you good. If it break down, they gonna fix it or they gonna give you another one. It's still the same principle. So you know, long as you now, the only thing I will say with the dualies is you got to make sure that you're going to be making enough money, right? Versus your miles. Now, if you're going to, you know, lease one and do flatbed, that's cool. That's cool. As long as you're making $4,000 or $5,000 a week, you can kick out $1,200, $1,300 a week on that dually. You know, you just count that as your okay, all right. Count that as your you know, your overhead. That's all. But see, you count that as your overhead, but you eliminate the repairs as your overhead. And that shit right there take you for a tailspin. It'll really take you out of here. So, you know, y'all, just, you know, it's just something else to think about. You know, you want a lot of y'all want to get into Amazon. Rent you a box truck. Go to Enterprise and rent you a box truck. You still got to get your DOT and MC number and all that set up to be set up with Amazon. But you can go get them trucks, and that could be a good starter point. And passing through LC, he said, what's some bad areas for car hauling? Florida. I just left Florida. I had to leave with 2 cars. So I will say this. Florida, you can make money if you stay in Florida, right? If you you can make money bringing cars into Florida, but and it's freight too. Anything that goes into Florida, coming out of Florida is always hard. Not saying that you can't get any money or you can't make any money. It's just a lot harder. Texas is a lot harder to come out of coming back to the East Coast. You got to check your zones. You got to check, like, I will always say this: if you're gonna run the road, run a triangle. Don't try to run back and forth unless you got some contract work. So if you're in Georgia, you know, run up to the Northeast because you can always get cars from Atlanta up into Maryland, Virginia, New Jersey, Delaware, right? And then from there in that tri-state area, it's a hot zone, so you can always get stuff going to Texas. And you still won't be in Texas, but you'll make, on that run right there, you'll make the bulk of the money. So when you get to Texas, then you only gotta have, you know, a few cars to get you back into your zone. Midwest is the best place to run. They're real strict out there with DOT. I don't fuck with them, but the rates they're good, especially in the wintertime. Detroit, Illinois, Michigan, Wisconsin, Ohio, they got it. They got it. Those rates are good, and they got a lot of work, and you can make some money. Tennessee, Arkansas, yeah. So it all depends on where you at, man. What you can do is look at the load board. Just look at the load board, and put whatever the capacity is on your trailer. Let's say if you got a 4-car trailer, I would put 2 to 4 cars in my search and put all, or put the whole East Coast origin and the whole East Coast destination, and just look and see what's up there. And that's how you kind of get a feel for what's out there. And that's a good way to dispatch yourself if you're running over the road and you don't really have a designated destination. That's what I do. I've been doing it the last couple of days because I know I'm about to get the stinger, and I gotta sign up with a lot of these different companies. 702 Rich was good. West Coast is cool too. If you in California, you can run California. California is a big state. You can stay in California. You can run from LA to Phoenix. They have a nice route over there. Las Vegas, you can run from LA to Las Vegas. You might have a little trouble getting back from Vegas. But you can find some stuff. This is cars I'm talking about. So, Flagstaff. You can run up to Washington too from Cali. New Mexico is a dead zone. Like, it's a dead zone. A lot of them spots like Lordsburg. You might be able to get a little something out of there, but you really gonna have to go to Las Cruces or El Paso. I spoke with United Services and the ops manager, and he wouldn't talk race with me until I came down the show. And my equipment, did you run? You mean United Roads? United Roads, logistics, or like the big company United Roads? I didn't run into any of these problems. I didn't run into that. I was just kind of curious of what the company you're talking about, but I've been doing this for over 10 years now, so they've gotten a lot stricter. Yeah, United Roads. No, I didn't run into that with them. They've gotten a lot stricter over the years. Before it was it was real easy to get signed up with them. Yeah, Harley. Yeah, it was real easy to get signed up with them, and now you get a lot of guys that's they messing car hauling up. I'm gonna be honest with you, because they know the money's there, and they see a pickup truck and they just think they can jump in a pickup truck and it's easy, and they flipping trucks over, and that's why the insurance is so high. And companies like United Road, that's why you want to see your truck. You want to make sure you got a fifth wheel in there. You want to make sure you got over the wheel 3-point straps. You want to make sure your trailer is not compromised by cracks or things like that. Yeah, they getting real strict, man. Then they even got an umbrella insurance that you got to have if you hauling like 9 cars, 7 or more. So yeah, it's yeah, you should be good though. Just show them really you're gonna go to the closest rail yard to wherever you at and just pull up to the because they got offices over there, and they just gonna come out and look at your truck. It ain't no big deal. That's what they do now. Like Asserters do that too. They want to. A lot of them. If you got that goose ball, that's why I tell all y'all get a fifth wheel. You got that goose ball, you're gonna be limited to who you can haul for. So I would always suggest getting a fifth wheel. It's safer anyway. But that goose ball, it's liable to pop off if you're doing something wrong. At least with the fifth wheel, you'll have a better chance. Yeah. They want to see what kind of setup you got. When I did Hanson and Atkins, which was a total nightmare, I had to go down there and do the same thing. And they made me get this umbrella insurance, and then he gave me some $50 cars. And I quit on the first day. I was like, I'm not running all this heavy ass shit around here for $50 a car. You crazy? You know what I mean? But don't haul cheap stuff either, man. Make sure you're getting good rates and it's worth it. I don't believe in busy work. Busy work is just, you ain't making no money. You just feel like you're working, but you're not really making no money. All right, Hank, I'll hit you up. But yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, you know, you can lease, also purchase. You know, neither one of them is. I'm just showing you the difference. You know, that's what today's topic was. And yeah, man, we're gonna wrap it up, man. 4th of July, y'all stay safe out there and stay sucker free. All right, stay negative. You know, they not on the same page. They not going in the same direction as you. Shake them loose. That's some real shit. Till next Sunday, man. Hit me in the DMs if y'all got a topic y'all want me to talk about too. All right, stay sucker free, y'all.